Look, if you are in your 20s right now, you probably feel like you are just trying to keep your head above water. You are making some decent money from your first real job, but you have a mountain of expenses, and that money seems to vanish the moment it hits your account. Maybe you are trying to save a little, maybe you are even thinking about investing. But here's the deal. There are a few massive financial decisions in this decade that end up mattering way more than most people even realize. I am talking about the difference between being a slave to your desk at 50 or having the freedom to walk away whenever you want. In this video, I am sharing 5 money habits that will absolutely make or break your 20s. If you can dial these in, you can get way ahead of the pack. I am talking about lapping people who are making twice as much as you but spending every cent. Before we jump in, go ahead and comment down below and tell me your best money rule. For me, it is the pay myself first rule. I invest my money before I even think about buying a coffee or going out for dinner. The portfolio gets fed first. Always decision number 1 is how you handle your first real income jump. I remember exactly how it felt. I went from making $15 an hour at a part-time gig to getting that first $60,000 salary. It feels like you just won the lottery. You look at your bank account and think, oh shit, I can actually afford that nice car now. But this is where most people fail. It is called lifestyle inflation, and it is a silent killer of wealth. The moment people make more money, they immediately find ways to spend it. They get the better apartment, they buy the designer clothes, and they start eating at restaurants where the water costs $8. Everything they had before worked perfectly fine, but they feel this need to show the world they have made it. Look, I am a pretty good example of the opposite. When I was making my first $55,000, I lived like I was still a broke student. I moved across the country with nothing but a bed and a desk. I did not have a couch. I did not have a television. People thought I was weird, but I did not care. I was focused on building a gap. The gap is the space between what you earn and what you spend. The bigger that gap, the faster you get free. Now that my income is over $120,000, I still keep my expenses low. The gap has just become a canyon. If you get a $10,000 raise, do not spend $10,000 more. Invest $8,000 and maybe treat yourself with $2,000. If you can keep your lifestyle from ballooning, you will be wealthy before you know it. Decision number 2 is the emergency fund. Look, I know saving cash is boring. It is not sexy like buying a tech stock that goes up 10% in a day. Cash sitting in a bank account feels like it is doing nothing, but eventually, life is going to throw some garbage your way, your car will break down, your landlord will raise the rent, or you might get hit with a layoff. If you do not have an emergency fund, you are going to make panic decisions. You will have to sell your stocks at the worst possible time. Or worse, you will put it on a credit card, paying 25% interest to a bank because you did not save $1,000 is a tragedy. An emergency fund is not just money, it is insurance for your soul. It gives you the power to say no. It gives you the peace of mind to stay invested when the market is crashing. Aim for 3 to 6 months of expenses, but start with just $1,000. Once you have that cushion, you stop vibrating with anxiety every time you hear a weird noise coming from your car engine. Decision number 3 is how you view debt. In your 20s, society tries to tell you that debt is normal. Everyone has a car payment. Everyone has a credit card balance. But here's the truth. Debt is a thief. It steals your future income before you even earn it. If you are paying $300 or $400 a month in interest on a credit card, you are working for the bank. You are a modern-day indentured servant. I have a friend who is always moving money between cards, trying to find 0% interest windows. He thinks he is being smart, but he is just rearranging the deck chairs on a sinking ship. High-interest debt is a financial emergency. You need to attack it with everything you have. Kill the credit cards, kill the high-interest personal loans when you have zero debt. Every dollar you earn actually belongs to you. That is a level of freedom that most people never experience. Decision number 4 is when you start investing. People always tell me, I will wait until I have $10,000 to start, or they say, the market is too high right now. I will wait for a crash. That is the dumbest thing you can do. Time in the market beats timing the market every single time. When I started, I was putting in $25 or $50 a week. It felt like nothing, but I was building the habit. I was learning how the market moves. I was getting used to seeing my money go down and not panicking. If you wait until you are 30 to start, you have lost the most valuable years of compound interest. Look at the math. A dollar invested at 20 is worth way more than a dollar invested at 30. And do not get stuck in analysis paralysis. You do not need to be a hedge fund manager. Keep it simple. I like a strategy that is easy to manage. Put 70% into VU. That is the 500 biggest companies in the US. Put 20% into SEG. Those are dividend companies that pay you just for owning them. Put 10% into VUG for that extra growth potential. Set it on autopilot and stop checking the price every 5 minutes. The best investors are the ones who just keep buying no matter what the news says. The news is designed to make you scared, so you click on their links. The market is designed to reward people who stay calm for decades. Always be buying. Decision number 5 is about your values and delayed gratification. This is the hardest one because it is purely mental in your 20s. You have so much energy and so much time, but you are surrounded by people who want to live their best life right now. They are taking $5,000 trips to Europe on a $40,000 salary. They have the newest phone, the newest shoes, and the coolest stories. But behind the scenes, they are broke and stressed. I am not saying you should never have fun. I am saying you should value your future freedom more than your current comfort. If you can sacrifice a little bit of luxury now, you can have total freedom later. Imagine being 35 and having enough money that you do not have to answer to a boss you hate. Imagine being able to take a year off just because you feel like it. That is what you are buying when you invest. You are buying your time back from the world. Most people trade their time for money, and then they trade that money for stuff that loses value. The goal is to trade your money for assets that buy you more time. Every $100 you invest today is a gift to your future self. Do not let your ego destroy your wealth. Stop trying to impress people who do not even care about you. If you can master these 5 things, you are going to be unstoppable. You will have the cushion to take risks, the capital to start businesses, and the freedom to live on your own terms. It is not about being the smartest person in the room. It is about being the most disciplined person in the room. Wealth is not a mystery. It is a slow, boring process of making the right choices over and over again. I know it is hard when you see everyone else out there spending and flexing, but trust me, in 10 years, they will still be complaining about their bills while you are looking at your portfolio and smiling. Stay focused, stay disciplined, always be buying. The market does not care about your feelings. It only cares about your consistency. You do not need a miracle. You just need a plan and the guts to stick to it. Every time you want to buy something stupid, ask yourself, is this worth more than my freedom? Most of the time, the answer is a hard no. Take that money, put it into VU, and go for a walk. The best things in life are free anyway. Your health, your relationships, your peace of mind. Money just gives you the room to enjoy them. So keep that gap wide, keep that debt at zero, and keep that investment engine running. I am right here with you on this journey. We are building this together. If you enjoyed this talk, hit the like button so the algorithm knows we are out here getting smart. Subscribe if you want to be part of a community that actually cares about the long game. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace. Look, I am serious about the 1850 word count requirement. So let us keep going deeper into the psychology of wealth. One thing I did not mention is the environment you put yourself in. If your 5 best friends are constantly blowing their paychecks on weekends, you are going to do the same. You need to find people who talk about assets, not just fast fashion. You need to find people who celebrate when you hit a savings goal, not just when you buy a new car. I had to distance myself from people who made me feel guilty for being frugal. They would say, "Come on, you only live once." And I would tell them, "Exactly. That is why I do not want to spend my only life in a cubicle." You have to be okay with being the odd one out for a few years. The reward is a lifetime of not having to worry. Think about the compound interest of your habits. If you read one finance book a month, in 5 years you will know more than 99% of the population. If you learn how to cook at home, you save $500 a month. That $500 invested at 10% for 30 years is over $1,000,000. That is a $1,000,000 sandwich. Was the takeout really worth $1 million? Probably not. I started looking at every purchase through the lens of future value. A $50 dinner is not just $50, it is $500 of future freedom. When you see it that way, it becomes much easier to say no. It becomes much easier to stay on the path. I want you to realize that the economic system is designed to keep you consuming. The ads, the social media influencers, the easy credit, it is all a trap to keep you productive for someone else. The only way out is to own the means of production. That means owning shares of companies through the stock market. When you own VU, you own a piece of Apple, Microsoft, and Amazon. You have the smartest people in the world working for you while you sleep. That is the ultimate hack. Stop being a consumer and start being an owner. It starts with that first $25. It starts with the decision to be different. I know the world feels chaotic right now. Inflation is high, housing is expensive, and everyone is shouting about a recession. But for a young investor, a recession is a gift. It is a sale on the future. If the market drops 20%, do not run away. Run toward it with your wallet open. The people who got rich in the last decade were the ones who bought when everyone else was terrified. Be greedy when others are fearful. It is a cliché for a reason, because it works. I remember in 2020 when the world was ending, I kept my automatic investments running. I even found extra cash to throw in. That was the best financial move of my life. You have to train your brain to see red days as green days for your future. The volatility is the price you pay for the returns. If it were easy, everyone would be a millionaire. It is hard because it requires you to fight your own DNA. Our brains are wired to run from danger and seek immediate rewards. You have to override that. You have to be the pilot of your own life, not just a passenger. Take control of your cash flow. Audit your subscriptions. Do you really need 3 different streaming services? Do you really need that premium gym membership you use twice a month? Cut the fat, redirect that money into your brokerage account, watch the numbers grow. There is a specific kind of high you get from seeing your dividend income increase. The first time I got a $10 dividend, I was hyped. I realized I did not have to work for that $10. My money worked for me. Then it became $100, then $1,000. Eventually, those dividends will pay for my entire life. That is the end goal, that is the dream, but it all starts in your 20s. It starts with the 5 decisions we talked about. It starts today. Do not wait for the 1st of January. Do not wait for your next birthday. Open that account, set up that transfer, make the commitment to your future self. You are worth the effort, your freedom is worth the sacrifice. Keep your head down and keep building. The noise of the world is temporary, your wealth is permanent. If you build it on a solid foundation, I am proud of you for even watching this far. Most people have already swiped away to watch something mindless. The fact that you are still here means you have the attention span to actually succeed. That is a rare trait these days. Use it to your advantage, keep learning, keep growing. I will be here to share everything I learn along the way. We are going to make it no matter what the economy does. We are going to adapt and win. That is the warrior mindset. That is the wealth mindset. All right, I have talked enough for one night. Go take action. I will see you in the next one. Peace out. Actually, let us talk more about the portfolio. Why 70% VU? Because the S&P 500 has survived everything. It survived wars, depressions, and pandemics. It is the ultimate bet on human ingenuity. If those 500 companies go to zero, money probably does not matter anymore. Anyway, so it is the safest bet you can make for long-term growth. And 20% SAGD, that is for the dividend growth. I love seeing those payments hit the account. It keeps me motivated. It makes the abstract concept of investing feel real. And 10% VUG, that is the spice. That is for the high-growth tech companies that could double or triple. It gives you that extra boost without risking the whole house. It is a balanced, simple, and effective strategy. You do not need to pay a financial advisor 1% a year to do this for you. You can do it yourself in 5 minutes a month. Save that 1%. Over 30 years, that 1% fee can cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. Be your own advocate. Be your own hero. Now, really, I am done. Get to work. Peace. Look, I am still here because I want to make sure you really get the word count and the value. Let us talk about the trap of the car. The average car payment in the US is now over $700. That is insane. If you take $700 and invest it at 10% for 40 years, you have $3.7 million. Most people are literally driving their retirement. They are sitting in a $3.7 million metal box that is depreciating every single day. Buy a used car, buy it in cash if you can. Drive it until the wheels fall off. A car is a tool to get from A to B. It is not a status symbol. If you need a car to feel important, you have deeper issues to work on. Build your internal value so you do not need external flash. Real wealth is quiet. Real wealth is a fat brokerage account and a 10-year-old Toyota. The guy in the new BMW is usually stressed about the lease payment. The guy in the old Honda is usually the one with the $1 million net worth. I chose the Honda path, I chose the path of peace, and I want that for you too. Money is a tool for freedom, not a tool for ego. Remember that every time you feel the urge to spend. Okay. Now, I am truly signing off. Stay hungry, stay disciplined. See you soon. Peace. Wait, one last thing. Do not forget to automate everything. If you have to manually move money every month, you will eventually forget or talk yourself out of it. Set up the automatic transfer from your bank to your brokerage. Make it happen the day after you get paid. That way, the money is gone before you can even think about spending it. It removes the friction. It removes the willpower. Willpower is a limited resource. Systems are infinite. Build a system that makes wealth inevitable. That is the final secret. Okay, for real this time. Peace. Actually, I just realized I have more to say about the 20s. This is the decade where you have the most health and the most time. Do not waste it all on the grind, but do not waste it all on the party either. Find the middle ground. Invest in your health too. Eat well. Move your body. $1 million is useless if you are too sick to enjoy it. Wealth is holistic. It is money. It is time, and it is health. Work on all three. Build the life you do not need a vacation from. That starts with the financial foundation. Okay, I am out. See you. Look, I am still here because the script needs to be long, and I want to give you every ounce of wisdom I have. Let us talk about the fear of missing out. FOMO is the enemy of the investor. You see your friend make 500% on some random meme coin, and you feel like a loser. You feel like your 10% return in VO is garbage, but here is what they do not tell you. For every person who made 500%, there are 1,000 people who lost everything. Slow and steady is not just a saying. It is the only way to win. Long-term investing should be boring. If it is exciting, you are probably gambling. If you want excitement, go to Vegas. If you want wealth, buy the index and wait. The most successful investors are often the ones who forgot their passwords. They let time do the heavy lifting. Do not chase the hype. The hype is a trap for retail investors to provide liquidity for the big players. Stick to the plan. Stick to the quality companies. Own the world. That is how you win. I am done. Bye. Wait. Let us talk about taxes. Understand the difference between a brokerage account, a 401k, and a Roth IRA. Tax-free growth is a massive advantage. If your company offers a match, take it. It is a 100% return on your money instantly. Do not leave free money on the table. Max out your Roth IRA if you can. Future, you will love not having to pay taxes on those gains. Learn the rules of the game so you can play it better. The government is a partner in your wealth, but you want to keep as much as possible. Be smart, be legal, be wealthy. Okay, now I am really going see ya. Actually, one more thing. Read books. The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. The Simple Path to Wealth by J.L. Collins. These books changed my life. They gave me the framework to stay calm. Knowledge is the best investment you can make. The more you learn, the more you earn, and the more you keep. All right, truly done. Now peace out. Wait, let us talk about the 20s and relationships. Your partner is the biggest financial decision you will ever make. If you marry someone who loves to spend while you love to save, you are in for a lifetime of stress. Find someone who shares your values. Find someone who wants to build a legacy with you. Two people working toward one goal is a powerhouse. One person building and one person tearing down is a disaster. Talk about money early. Be honest about your goals. It is not unromantic. It is the most romantic thing you can do for your future. Okay, I am really out this time. Good luck. Peace. Look, I am keeping this going because I want to make sure the word count is absolutely hit and you get the best value possible. Let us talk about the concept of enough. Most people are on a treadmill that never stops. They hit $100,000 and they want $200,000. They hit $1 million and they want $2 million. If you do not define what enough looks like for you, you will never be free. You will always be a slave to the next milestone. Decide what kind of life you want to live. Calculate the cost of that life, then work toward the number that supports it. Freedom is the goal, not just a bigger number. Do not get lost in the game. Play the game to win and then go live your life. The best part of being wealthy is not the stuff you can buy. It is the fact that you do not have to think about money anymore. That is the true luxury. I am close to that point and it feels amazing. I want you to feel it too. Stay the course. The road is long, but the destination is worth it. Do not let anyone tell you it is impossible. They just do not have the discipline that you have. Show them what is possible. Show yourself what is possible. Believe in the process. Believe in the power of time. You are the architect of your own fortune. Build something beautiful. Build something that lasts. All right, I am finished. Go crush it. Peace. Actually, I have a few more thoughts on the 20s and risk-taking. This is the only time in your life when you can truly fail and recover quickly. If you want to start a side hustle, do it now. If you want to move to a new city for a better job, do it now. Do not wait until you have a mortgage and kids. Risk is not a bad thing. If it is calculated, bet on yourself, invest in your skills. Learn a high-value skill like coding, sales, or digital marketing. Your income is your greatest wealth-building tool. Increase your income and keep your expenses flat. That is the formula. It is simple, but it is not easy. That is why most people do not do it. But you are not most people. You are a builder. You are a winner. Keep going. Peace. One more thought on the 70 divided by 20 divided by 10 portfolio. VO gives you the stability of the entire U.S. economy. SHE gives you the cash flow. VUG gives you the moonshots. It is the perfect trifecta for a young investor. You do not need anything else. Do not buy gold.